Okay, call the meeting order at 7. Firstly, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, approval of the minutes since our last regularly scheduled meeting.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Fath, seconded by Mr. Brzezinski to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Mr. Fath?
Yes.
Mr. Brzezinski?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0. Next, the approval of claims. I'll make a motion we approve the claims.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Fath to approve the claims. Any discussion? Mr. Fath?
Yes.
Mr. Brzezinski?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0. Utilities?
Everybody's got a copy of my report.
Yep.
I'm spending most of my time with the construction project. We're spending, the other issue we're having is trying to get the 2 lift stations upgraded. The New Durham and the McDonald's lift stations we're having some minor problems with that. So most of the day today working on it. Never realized it was 10 years old already, so things are starting to break in it. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have. We think we got a couple ideas on the 2 lift stations and getting the 4-meter installed at the next station. The biggest obstacle we're running into is like everyone else is trying to get vendors just to get work done because everybody is swamped. It's really almost, they're dealing with emergencies and that's what they're putting first. There's just not a lot of service providers out there. So that's all I've got.
Okay, thanks.
Next on the agenda is the demo of the old water tower. We received a quote before June's last meeting. It was for $28,600 from Eisler Demolition. We've been discussing this for, I think, 2 years now. So basically the cost to refurbish that tower is very significant. I think it was in the couple $100,000 range to remove the paint, repaint it because it has to be enclosed, and then upgrade all the steel to meet OSHA standards. It's not really being used by the town because we have a new water tower, so it's not needed for the system. It'd probably be more affordable if we needed to upgrade to build a new tower outside of city limits if it came to that point. It does have historic value. I mean, I love the tower myself, but with our current budgets and what we have going on and its use, it's hard to justify keeping it up. I did have our engineer McMahon Associates review the quote. The only thing that's left off the quote is the removal of the foundation. That, if it becomes an issue, we could have removed by a local subcontractor if need be. I don't know if there's any thoughts on it from last meeting. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. You really need to remove the foundation on it. I mean,
yeah.
just the pillars. Yeah.
I think he told, when I talked to John, he said it was around 7 to 10 grand. I think Maderryville opted not to remove the foundation because of the cost from Eisler. I don't know if we'd want to rebid. If we did want to remove it, we could rebid that out separately because that's not anything special.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know if anyone has any other feedback. Otherwise, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Eisler demolition permit.
What's the purpose to get rid of it?
It needs repainting right now. And
It's no structural use. It's being used. Costs over $200,000 to repair it. We don't use it. It costs 29 grand to tear
Is
it
it
down.
going to fall over?
No, not yet.
Yeah, but the rivets
We
on.
gotta paint it.
It's got to be painted. It has we had it looked at by a couple contractors. It needs the repainting is the big issue with it, and then with the new OSHA standards, when you go to repaint it, then you got to upgrade it. It needs work done inside, and needs rivets repaired on the outside. That's why I prefer just to remove it. has a good track record. They've done several demos in Michigan, Indiana. So that's their specialty. That's why I think it's the smart option for the town just to have it removed. But,
Yeah, 'cause it's not gonna get in shape worse.
yeah.
Did they report on the foundation? On the pedal condition of those?
No.
Usually that's a big factor.
So.
That's a motion.
Yeah, and I make a motion that we approve the proposal for $28,600. Doug, if you could review it one last time, make sure everything's in line.
Well, I hate to see it taken down, but safety standards and what could happen if some of the rivets we had looked at with a drone and everything else, they start popping off and somebody gets hurt, we'll be in more trouble than if we don't take it down.
It was built in 1928, so it's old. I'll second the motion. Motion made by Mr. Fath, second by Albert to demolish the old water tower for $28,600. Any discussion? Mr. Fath?
Yes.
Mr. Paszynski?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0. Maintenance,
What was that?
were you paying maintenance?
Oh, yeah, that'll come out of water maintenance.
Okay, we have resolution 2021-6. It's validating the acquisition of property. It's for the CSX Railroad property that we obtained a right-of-way for, an easement for, from the correctional center to our property that we already own to run the sewer main for the project from Westville Correctional. We have a resolution of the town of Westville for validating acquisition of property, resolution number 2021-6. Do you want it read, or can we go by title only?
I think you go by title only. The main purpose of this resolution was that when we began the taking process, Brett, we were going to take the whole property. We came to an agreement with the CSX for the easement. They're just wanting a record with the town that the council's accepting what we came up with as a result.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we adopt resolution 2021-6.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Fath to adopt resolution 2021-6. Is there any discussion? Mr. Fath?
Yes.
Mr. Paszynski?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0. We have the Baker-Tilly agreement. This was tabled from November. This is to do a study and proposal to hydrant rental fees and other fees associated with the water company. Exact scope of work. As we've talked before, we have mentioned hydrant rentals and also fees for the property that the town owns, the water department, and isn't receiving any funding for, like tax money. It's common. Municipalities for revenues are starting to look into that. That's what part of the study is also going to cover. And other fees associated with that for fundraising, revenue rating. So I'll make a motion that we adopt, or that we approve the agreement with Baker-Tilly for this work. We did discuss it in November. I'll make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Fath to enter in the agreement with Baker-Tilly for the study of such services as hydrant rental and other associated fees. Any discussion? Mr. Fath?
Yes.
Mr. Paszynski?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 4-0. Anything else on utilities? Streets?
We don't have anything other than we're waiting for our money to arrive from Community Crossing Grant, matching grant fund. Then we'll get started on the paving.
Parks?
Got nothing now.
Police?
In June, we had 348 calls for service. In July, we had 369. Just to give you guys a brief update, a couple months ago, I met with Mike and Regina about body cameras. There is a trend going across the state and the nation for every agency to get them. In my opinion, it's kind of an unfunded mandate because most of the programs do not get you fully compliant with some of the rules that are being bestowed upon us. Nothing has come down yet from the state level. I foresee that happening though within the next, I would say within the next 3 years. So I'm trying to get out ahead of that. We do currently have body cameras, but there are better systems out there. I've applied for about $13,000 worth of grants to try and help offset that cost. If I can get up to about $20,000 raised, I believe I can operate within my budget for a 5-year plan of $28,000 tax. 28 is going to be exact, it's 28,704, I believe, off the top of my head. That is full service, that is the software that gets everything for them. Also, on August 24th, I've been working with Indiana FLP Lodge number 75. It's in Michigan City. The auxiliary members have chosen the Westville Police Department to sponsor a give back night at Howie's. There's a flyer in TownHall and there's one up front at the police department. What will happen is proceeds for dining, carry out, and gift card purchases donated to the Westville Police Department. That's all I have for now.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Okay, under finance, we have resolution 2021-5, it's transfer of funds, which is we wind down, or get through the year, we see where we have extra in some funds and shorting smaller amounts than needed, possibly in the others, so it's just where we move within the general fund. No extra cost to the budget. Transfer 2,000 from appropriation 101-200-361 repairs and maintenance general fund to appropriation 101-200-290 miscellaneous supplies general fund. Transfer $8,000 from appropriation 201-00-1134 health insurance MVH fund to appropriation 201-001-361 repair and maintenance MVH fund. Transfer $500 from appropriation 201-00-1134 health insurance MVH fund to appropriation 201-00-1324 phone MVH fund. Transfer $2,450 from appropriation 204-001-221 fuel park fund to appropriation 204-001-361 repairs and maintenance park fund. Transfer $5,000 from appropriation 101-002-399 unsafe buildings general fund to appropriation 101-00-2361 repair and maintenance general fund. I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 2021-5.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Bushinsky to adopt resolution 2021-5. Is there any discussion? Mr. Fath?
Yes.
Mr. Bushinsky?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 4-0. Anybody have anything else under finance? Okay. We have ordinance 2021-7 Beautification Committee. It's an amendment ordinance, the Town Council, Town of Westville, LaPorte County, Indiana, establishing a beautification committee. The changes is the membership. It's allows employees to be on it. What else was on there? Fred?
So we also removed the requirement that members be resident of the town.
Okay.
Those are the only two changes.
Okay, I'll read it by title only. We have an ordinance 2021-7. I'll make a motion that we approve it on first reading.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Fath to approve it on the first reading. Is there any discussion? Mr. Fath?
Yes.
Mr. Pachinski?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0. I'll make a motion that we suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2021-7.
Second the motion.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Fath to suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2021-7. Any discussion? Mr. Fath?
Yes.
Mr. Pachinski?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky? Albert votes yes, passes 4-0. We have next the Boys and Girls Clubs, Michelle Shirt. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Michelle Sharp. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. We had initially talked with some of you about the possibility of bringing a Boys and Girls Club here to Westville. This whole idea started actually with Nate Hynek, who reached out to us and said, you know, we could really use some additional opportunities for our kids after school. And I just kind of wanted to come back and talk to you about what we've done so far, and actually the whole project has moved along on a quicker timeline than we even hoped, thanks to everybody from Westville and how helpful they've been. So we are Boys and Girls Clubs of LaPorte County. We're part of Boys and Girls Club of America. It's an entity that is a national organization with 4,000 clubs. We're all individual organizations. We're our own nonprofit, which is Boys and Girls Clubs of LaPorte County. There's 35 like us throughout the state of Indiana. We all do similar things. We provide a sense of place for kids. We do really only one thing, which is out of school time programming for kids who are ages, in our case, 4 to 18. Some clubs can go a little lower or higher than that in their age range. Our programs focus on academic success, character and citizenship, and healthy lifestyles. And compared to child cares, we don't consider ourselves child cares. We are looking at how can we do programs that will actually impact kids and help them succeed, help their academics, you know, help them be healthier, help them be happier. We want to make sure we can assess the impact of our programs. Right now, we're in our 25th year of operation. We're celebrating our anniversary this year. We have 3 clubs at Pine, Springfield, and Charles R. Westcott, which are all in the Twin City right now. It was 2 years ago that we changed our name and had this countywide focus, and then obviously the pandemic hit, and so we're now being able to move forward with some of those goals. We do after-school programming, 3 to 6 daily at all of our locations. Full-day summer camp. During the pandemic, we had to switch into full-day programming during times that various schools were closed, so kids would actually come to us. Sometimes we operated more than 10 hours a day, and they could do their virtual school at our clubs. And new this year, all programs are completely free of charge, so we don't charge a penny for anything that we do. You can be with us 10 hours a day for free. You can come after school every single day. We're just mostly interested in eliminating barriers, and we know that some of the kids that need us most may have families that aren't able to pay. So 2020 changed everything. Our clubs have looked a little different. We briefly did virtual clubs, but so much of what we do is about being in person, a safe place for kids when other places are not available, that we reopened really, really quickly. We were open actually one of the only summer camps in Michigan City I think in the whole county, honestly, last summer when a lot of things were closed, we reopened with extensive safety protocols, had very few issues. Since then, like I mentioned, we've kind of pivoted between programs. We counted and we had 7 different operating schedules last year because there were so many changes in school schedules and, you know, things like that, what the needs were in the community. In order to do that, we have to obviously be able to support our operations through qualified staff. We raised our organizational minimum wage. We now bring new people in who are working in our programs between 12 and 13 an hour for our entry-level positions, and then it goes up from there. Our goal is to reach a $15 an hour minimum wage by 2024. Not everything has changed with the pandemic. We still have kids. They're coming in. They're feeling safe. They're making friends. They are learning new skills. My own children have both enjoyed Boys and Girls Club programs over the last 2 years, and we have kids that have been with us. At this point, after 25 years, we have parents that were in our programs. We have a couple of staff members who were club kids. And so we kind of have developed that level of organizational trust in Michigan City that I think will help as we expand out into the county. So I kind of touched on that 2 years ago, our board set this goal of expanding our services. We recently finished a strategic plan that has 3 parts. The first and biggest is to reach and impact more children throughout the county. Our current programs are not enough to serve the kids that need service. This summer, I turned off our wait list at 120 kids on the wait list because we just couldn't fit any more in the building. So we want to do more in Michigan City. We want to do more throughout the county. We need to, in order to do that, increase our level of community support. It's important to me that we don't grow faster than we can keep our programs free, because that's a big part of who we are. And then again, we want to make sure we're paying attention to the staffing piece of it. We want really highly qualified staff that love our kids and love our programs. So that brings us to the Westville Club. The original idea was, there's the old town hall is available. Like, is there maybe a building in Westville that we could come in and set up shop? We still haven't ruled that out, but we felt like program and staff-wise, we were ready to expand, and doing renovations to a building would take a longer time. So this idea was kind of hatched for us to go into the elementary schools, which is a great way for us to go into a new community. And then since all the schools are on one campus, we're actually able to serve K through 8th grades. So we will be launching on September 7th at Westville. I actually just came here from the open house tonight where we were talking to parents about it. Westville is probably going to be actually our biggest site for this school year. There's a tremendous demand for the program. We're going to do like we do at every single site. After school, there's an hour of academic success because parents don't want to pick up their kids and have homework not done at 6 o'clock at night. If they don't have homework, we help them with learning activities and things that are fun. We call it our power hour. Everybody gets free after school snacks that are healthy. We will teach them to do community service projects, experience health and fitness activities. This summer we had a diorama making contest. Like it's just fun activities that are responsive to the needs of individual communities and the kids that we're working with. Kids are an age-based cohort, so for here we're projecting that we'll have 4 age groups because we're serving a total of 8 grades. We are hiring for new positions. Each site has a desk clerk, several program leaders, and then a site leader who manages the site, just to make sure there's multiple levels to make sure everybody's safe, that there's somebody to manage things that come up. And we will, of course, be enrolling our families. We are looking at opening registration the week of August 23rd. If you or anybody you know is interested, please direct them to our website. And I would just like to close by saying thank you. I've told everybody who will listen that Westville has been one of the most welcoming places I've ever had the pleasure to come in and start a program. Really, everybody on this, town council, town board, Nate, the leadership staff at the school, nobody has thrown up any barriers. Everybody's just kind of like, okay, how can we get this done and get these services here for the kids? Families are very, very excited. People can't believe the program is free. And for us, that's really what we want. We want to come to a place where the kids are going to enjoy our services, the community is going to feel like they meet a need, and that we can work together to build great futures, which is really our mission. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about our programming. Long term, we are looking just to anticipate a couple at a summer program. I know that's been stated as a need. In Michigan City, we do a full day summer program that's free, that's a little less academic than our school year programs, but still learning activities and a lot of fun. And also long term, we would not rule out a standalone facility here in Westville. So any questions?
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you so
out.
much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have a question on that, by the way. You guys were talking about possibly the old TownHall as a facility,
It was one idea that was brought up.
considering the fact it's next to a bar.
Oh, good enough.
It's not, I don't think, feasible option for kids to be in it. This is, going forward, actually over here, I think would be a good spot. You can park right behind here. You
Yeah.
have a lot more parking.
Well, the nice thing about opening it at the school is that it really prevents us from having to make any decisions for about 2 years while we kind of establish our base. We're launching a capital campaign related to this expansion, not just here, but elsewhere, and it'll be a 2-year timeline, which will give us much more time to kind of study the communities, get to know people, get to know needs and traffic flows. And the nice thing about starting at the school is all the kids are right there.
Okay. We've got beautification committee appointments, which the ordinance we just passed allows it. We have reappointments for Lori Mercer and Jackie Prentice. I'll make a motion that we appoint those two, reappoint Jackie and Lori.
Second motion.
Motion made by Albert, second by Mr. Pfaff, that we reappoint Lori Mercer and Jackie Prentice. Any discussion? Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Mr. Paszynski?
Yes.
Mrs. Kaforski?
Yes.
And Albert votes yes. And who the three that you've, the Planning Commission appointed through their appointment is Stacy Wesher, Adam Jenis, and Megan Hill. So that's the appointments that they have. So they're up full staff. Zoning ordinance. Doug, do you want to talk about this real quick?
Yeah, the zoning ordinance has gone through the planning commission. We've had a public meeting. We're making some changes to the zoning maps, nothing extremely significant. The main purpose of entering into this zoning ordinance, excuse me, my cold, is this will be consistent with the county, the city of LaPorte, and Michigan City. So from an economic development standpoint, I think it's important to have an ordinance that's consistent with the other main areas in the county.
Okay. We have two of them, correct? 2021-9.
Yeah, one would adjust the zoning maps. The other one would repeal the previous ordinance and adopt a new ordinance. I would recommend you do reading by title only this month and then move to pass for next month.
Okay.
That way it gives the public an additional 30 days to give us any input if they wish to do so.
Okay.
So we could have a public hearing on that, correct?
We had a public hearing before the plan commission. The plan commission has approved the ordinance and zone map changes.
Okay. We have ordinance 2021-9, an ordinance to amend the town of Westville zoning map. Read it by title only. I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 2021-9 on the first reading.
Second motion.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Pfaff to approve ordinance 2021-9 on the first reading. Discussion. Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Mr. Paszynski?
Yes.
Mrs. Kaforski?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 4-1 or 4-0. Go to next month. And then we have ordinance 2021-10. It's an ordinance to repeal the town of Westville Town Council's existing zoning ordinance and zoning maps and any amendments to adopting a new zoning ordinance and zone maps. I will make a motion that we approve ordinance 2021-10 on the first reading.
Second motion.
Motion made by Albert, second by Mr. Pfaff to approve ordinance 2021-10 on the first reading. Any discussion? Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Mr. Paszynski?
Yes.
Mrs. Kaforski?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0. Put that on the docket for next month. Lori Tim. Hi, how are you? You're on.
Hi, my name is Lori Tim. I am one of your neighbors on Allen John Drive, and I am in the process of organizing the first annual Water Tower Place block party. So I came up with this idea just because we're all coming out of a really bad year, and I thought it would be a way for us as a community to come together, for us to meet new neighbors, catch up with old neighbors that we haven't seen for a while. So try to make it brief. There's 2 lots, vacant lots, that are on the corner of Independence and Allen John Drive, that I got approval to be able to use those lots. So some of the activities I have planned are for the kids, a bouncy house, face painting, music. I'm going to have bags set up, and I've asked that everyone bring a dish to share as a potluck. I plan on doing hamburgers and hot dogs, and I am asking today, there's that piece of Independence that is in between the lots. And since I am gonna need both lots. This is getting a little bit bigger than what I anticipated. So, my concern is with it being 2 lots in that piece of, street, is kids running from one lot to the next lot. So I was hoping to get it approved today to get that part of Independence. There are no houses that actually face that would prevent in an emergency, of being able to get to someone's house. Any houses that are there are either facing Allen John or facing Independence, or, I'm sorry, that would be, Thank you, Jefferson.
What was the date of that, Lori?
The August 28th is the date, and the time is from 2 to 7. And I do have a rain date of September 11th, which would be the same times. Also, I have gotten with the Westville, with Nate, with the police department and the fire department that are also going to join in on that day for the kids, as far as bringing a car or, talking to the police and, people just kind of getting to meet people that serve our community and then with the fire trucks. So my request is to get that piece of that Independence where I can have that blocked off for the event.
And you're good with that, Nate?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
well,
we can still get into Jefferson, still get into the subdivision.
okay, I'll make a motion that on the 28th of August between 2 and 7 p.m. or on September 11th between 2 and 7, if it rains, that Independence be blocked between East Jefferson Street and Allen John. Right?
Yes.
Second on that?
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Brzezinski. Is there any discussion? Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Mr. Brzezinski?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
I would vote yes, 4-0. If you have any questions, work with Nate or Bubba for them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Shelley, you're on.
Hi, Bubba left behind you, it gets me yet.
He's probably done that kind of his whole life, and he just kind of,
Exactly.
set you up.
I'm just here to, since we didn't get to have it last year, our annual Bikes for Birch, for the street closing on Main Street for September 11th. I talked to Bubba, and it's gonna be for both the bars this year, the Bill and the Black Hawk. So he would block the Ridge Street, down Main Street, just past, or just by the town hall, because he said with the resale shop and the beauty shop, he can't go no further than that.
Okay, so you want Main between Ridge, for all intents and purposes, to Railroad, although you won't be down that far.
I can't because of the resale shop
Right,
and the
but
beauty shop.
you'll be past Plain Street, though.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll just,
So Ridge Street to the old town hall.
okay. September 11th, what were the times?
We usually blast off like 6 a.m. and then it goes until, and then we reopen it when we close, which is usually 3 a.m.
Okay, you're good with that?
And all of that proceed goes to Brickford Memorial, which goes to the parks.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we, on September 11th, between 6 a.m. and 3 a.m., that would be 12, 1 a.m. to 12, that Main Street be blocked off from Ridge Street to in front of the old town hall.
Yes.
Okay,
I second the motion.
okay. Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Pfaff. Do what we just said. Any discussion? Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Mr. Brzezinski?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0. And tell Bub next year he has to show up.
Thank you.
I don't think you'll have any trouble getting him up at 6 a.m. anyway.
Oh, he knows that.
Okay, is there anything else? Thank you for coming.
I have an
with us.
item for the council after the meeting's been terminated.
Okay. Anything else? Thanks everyone for coming. I don't know if you just want to see what we're doing or get into air conditioning. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Brzezinski to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Being none, meeting adjourned.